Hey everyone, I'm Haley Zagari, and this is my virtual library. I'm first going to start up with the genre realistic fiction, and the book I selected for that genre is Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing. Um, this is a story about a boy, Peter, who is struggling with his 3-year-old younger brother. He refers to himself constantly as a fourth grade nothing, as his brother is getting a lot of the attention at home and always seems to be getting away with everything. It's a really fun story, great read for ages 7 to 9, as it really gives us funny perspective of how a child could feel at times during the escapades of Peter's annoying little brother. This book can relate to a lot of kids and can be a funny way to connect to the students, as a lot of your students will have a younger sibling. The next genre is fantasy, and for this genre, I chose Tuck Everlasting by Natalie Babbitt. Tuck Everlasting is a fantasy novel. It's a great for ages 9 to 1. And it's basically about a teenage girl, Winnie Foster, running into a family who has a secret. And that secret is that they have been granted eternal life after drinking from a magical spring. And this story goes through Winnie's adventure with the Tuck family. And it eventually leads to the decision if she wants to drink from the spring herself, if she wants to never die and live forever, or if she wants to age like a normal person. The next genre is graphic novels, and for this genre, I chose Diary of a Wimpy Kid. And Diary of a Wimpy Kid is a really funny novel by Jeff Kinney. Um, and he uses his main character, Jeff Heffrey. And he's really about Jeff's experience at middle school and how he's always trying to attempt to be popular. Everything an attempt to be popular in this book. And it's really funny what he does to try to be popular, and there's a lot of funny illustrations, and it's just a good way to get kids to laugh and kind of feel comfortable and relate. The next genre is historical fiction. And for this one, I chose um, Aunt Harriet Underground Railroad. And this book is by Faith Ringgold, and it's a cool that tells a story of two kids and their adventure traveling to the Underground Railroad to Canada for freedom. And it's a really cool story, very interesting, as you kind of get to go on the adventure with them as the two kids navigate through the Underground Railroad, and they're being guided by their aunt, Harriet Tubman. As they go through this journey, they are able to experience the feelings of what the slaves went through, and they're able to learn a lot during their trip to their freedom. Really cool book, and a lot of good illustrations in there too. The next book I chose for the informational and bibliography genre, I chose Emu, which was also the book I selected for my backpack activity as well. And this is just a great informative book on animal emus. It includes both narrative and informative paragraph, and it's just a great way to have young readers, learn about a different kind of animal. Kind of takes you on a journey of the life cycle from after eggs are hatched to when they become adults. And students love to know those type of random facts. So it's just nice. This is the type of book that I would keep in classroom shelf just for, to gain any interest of students. The next genre is diverse populations, and for this one, I chose the book Tiki Tiki Tembo, which is a Chinese folk tale of two brothers who live in a small town. The older son gets a long honorable name, while the second son gets a short name. When the younger son falls into a well, the older brother is able to get him rescued easily. But when the older son falls into the well, the younger son, Chang, has a hard time getting his brother rescued because his name is so long. His name is Tiki Tiki Tembo, Nosa Rembo, Cherry Berry Ruchi, Pip Peri Pembo. And he runs out of breath when trying to grab the man, but eventually is saved. And at the end of the story, they kind of talk about how this folk tale was kind of the reasoning of shortening Chinese names. Really good book, really interesting information in there as far as the Chinese culture. The next book is There's a Zoo in Room 22, and that is for the poetry genre. This is a really cute book about Miss Darling's class in Room 22. Each of the students have a pet animal, and they go through the whole alphabet, and the students have their own poem that goes along with the animal that they bring in. And there's a lot of chaos, but it's a lot of fun. It's a really great book for the younger kids. For kindergarten, it can be a fun way to learn the alphabet with the poems. So it's a really fun read, really cute illustrations as well. The next genre is science fiction. And this is a book I chose. It's an older book from the 1950s, I believe. But it is one of those oldies but goodies. So um, this book is part of a sci-fi series, The Mushroom Planet, and this one is about Chuck and David and how they are traveling to a planet in a spaceship that they created themselves and they have built. Really fun, kind of gives you reality and imagination at the same time, which really just makes this novel timeless and really fun for kids to read. The last genre I have here is traditional literature or folk tales. And for this one, I chose The True Story of the Three Little Pigs. This one is one of my family's favorites that we like to read. It's kind of gives you a hysterical view of the story and kind of gives you a twist of the three little pigs. And it kind of gives you the point of view through the wolf instead of the pigs. Really good for the young readers, and the twist just makes it hilarious. And also, the illustrations are really, really cool, as you can see here. Really cool illustrations. And thank you so much for listening. That is my virtual library. Thank you so much.